Hi everybody, welcome to School of Scarlett. Today I have another intuitive message for you. So do you ever get the feeling of like guilt or uneasiness when you're just trying not to do anything, where you're trying to relax or you don't have anything to do really? Do you get this feeling like, something's wrong, or like you can't really just rest? It seems like you want to somehow fill up that time doing something. If you ever get that feeling, this message is for you. So this message is not just for you. I also struggle with this. So the message that was coming through today was coming in really strong. And so I want to share it here with you today. Today was a really rainy day. It was just thunderstorms, lightning, all of that. It's cleared up a little bit now, but it was just really heavy this morning, and it's going to be that way for the next couple of days. So the rain really showed me today that we make our plans, but what happens in nature and different things like that can really dictate what actually happens. So I had some one-on-one sessions planned today. I had some gardening and things like that planned today, and I couldn't do that. So I'm in this truck right now because I went to go do my gardening, and when I got there, it was pouring down rain. So I had to turn around, and I didn't get to do that today. Earlier, I had some one-on-one sessions, and for the most part, we got them done. But there were some interruptions with the weather, affecting the internet and things like that. So, there were some times that it was kind of like a downtime. And so for any of you that might work in maybe an outdoor job or some sort of job that is also kind of dictated by the weather, what the weather can do and how it can really shake up your plans, So the rain is really just a symbol to us sometimes when that happens, to slow down, to go within, to rest, to unwind, to relax. But that's easier said than done, because the majority of people in our culture, in our society, are on this kind of trauma circle of really having to prove ourselves that we are worthy, that we're productive, that we're achieving something in order to feel our worth. And our worth really doesn't come from our works and the things that we do and accomplish. It's already inherent within us. But our culture, again, has really made it feel like that to us. So I started working when I was 15 years old, and I worked at different places throughout my life. I got married young. I had my daughter young. I went to university. I, was very involved in a church that had lots of activities. And so my life has always been very full with things to do. And so I had one year, now probably 5 years ago, and I think we all experienced the time of COVID where we had kind of everything shut down and we had to stay home. And that time was very close to the time I'm talking about that I experienced, but for me it was more like a spiritual awakening. And in that time, I really didn't do anything. My sense of self really kind of fell away in a way that it didn't have any desire or motivation to prove or do anything. It wasn't wanting to do anything at all other than just be. So that year was one of the most actually productive years of my life, because even though I had no sense of wanting to do anything, and I literally didn't do anything, in that year, I really discovered my true self. I went within. I got to just wake up every day and see what will I do today? I didn't really have a plan. And without having that plan and being at peace with that, I was able to innately just explore myself. So I explored nature and, everything about it. And I listened and I tuned in. I just wasn't just going for a walk. I literally immersed myself in it. I wrote books, I, started new crafts, hobbies. I cooked. I, some days I would just watch TV all day, watch something really exciting. I watched some shows that were really profound, from other countries. And, I really spent time that I wouldn't probably have allowed myself in my previous way of being, because the way that I was functioning before, which I consider trauma-based, I was really in this cycle of wanting to produce, to make money, to be productive in some way. So to take time away to even watch a series on TV or something didn't feel good within my system. I felt like I was wasting my time. I felt like something was wrong. I felt like I was being lazy. And, for some people and for some of us, it can also feel like, we're not worthy to be loved. Our worth seems to be tied to it somehow, and that's not really how it should be. Our worth is already inherent. We're worthy just because we are. We don't have to work for that. We don't have to prove something. We don't have to achieve something. But our society has conditioned us and programmed us in a way where we have always tried to get that trophy, always tried to get that acknowledgement, tried to get that paycheck, that raise, that goal off of our list, in order to feel worthy within ourselves and others. And that pressure can become very high to where we no longer feel comfortable just unwinding, just sitting back, just resting. So today's message is really like a call or a confirmation to you that it's time to rest. And when we look around nature, just like it rained today and everything kind of slowed down and we didn't see the birds out, we didn't see anything really happening, that also happens throughout everything that we see. So we can think about just like the seasons. There's seasons that the trees don't have any leaves, and it's winter, it's time for rest. And that doesn't diminish the fact that that's a tree, that it's going to produce fruit, leaves, whatever it does, shade. It's still a tree, but it has to go into these seasons of rest. And I have quite a few fruit trees, so I know that fruit trees actually require a certain level or a certain number of rest hours. They call them freeze hours. And those are the hours where the tree is like frozen. And it needs those. If it doesn't receive those, it can't even produce fruit. So nature and everything around us is speaking to us to rest, to go within. I'm seeing like an ocean tide, like going in and out, in and out. And just for the tide to go out, it also has to go in so that it can rest, pull back, and get momentum to go back out. So that's just like us. We can keep going and going and going, but what's going to happen if we do that is we're going to burn out. But if we allow ourselves to rest, to go within, to experience some silence, we can actually recuperate in a way that will have more power, more energy to do and accomplish the things that we truly want to do. And I really found that out during that time where I had that year of just not doing anything. Many of us got to experience that again when COVID happened because everything was shut down. There wasn't anything to do. And at that time, I was counseling people. And it was actually a big season of growth for people. Yes, there was some loneliness and things like that, but there was also connection, and there was also discovering of oneself. People that had never cooked before began cooking and learning skills that they had been wanting to do, but would have felt guilty doing otherwise because they wanted to find the fastest thing, like fast food, so that they could do more, so they could accomplish more. But we think that that's the best way to do it, but truly we require the rest. And when we rest, we get a certain level of energy that you don't get from just getting fast food and thinking that you bypassed, however long it takes to cook. So you're being called today through this message to rest, to do some things to unwind and untangle your nervous system. Your nervous system is right now wired in a way where you have to go, 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 go. And so it feels very uncomfortable to just sit back and rest and not do anything. It almost feels unbearable. And so I know for some people, even silence can feel unbearable. So they're always having, the TV going on, the radio going on, something going on because it feels unbearable to just be. But our true nature requires us to go within, to have some silence in order to hear our inner voice, in order to connect fully. So if you can take some time, it's very important to do so. And how can you really connect with this side of yourself without, going crazy? Essentially, you got to start slow. Give yourself like 5 minutes every day that you turn off all noise, that you put your phone down, that you just sit in a room, even if it's just like your bathroom or something, and just be in silence. Every so often turn the radio off in your car and just experience just driving without anything on. Things like this can help you to be more comfortable in silence and rest. Allow yourself one weekend every so often where you have absolutely nothing to do and you can just wake up and naturally see what arises for you, what you want to do, or if you just want to rest, or if you just want to watch something on TV without any guilt behind it, without having to feel like you have to do something. Eventually getting to the place where you can actually, spend a lot of time completely alone with you and the lights off or everything, and just kind of going within. And in that inner space, you're going to discover something beautiful, which is this infinite universe. And you're going to connect with a part of you that you probably never have connected with, or didn't know was there, or had forgotten was there. So experience some time like this. I know I saw a while back, and I think it was made for kids, but I've seen adults use them too. They're like boxes that you can get off Amazon, and you put your phone in there, and you put on there how long you want your phone locked in this box. And it could be like, I don't know, 3 hours. And it will not unlock your phone until 3 hours have passed. So it's locked in there. And this could be a great way for you to program some time away from your phone, because a lot of times, even if we're not really doing anything, we're sitting there on our phone scrolling. We're looking at social media, we're updating things, we're answering emails. And even though we're not doing anything, we're technically doing all kinds of things. We're working on our phone, we're doing social media, connecting with friends and family, we're looking at all kinds of stuff. And so we're really not exactly just not doing anything. We could be doing our work on our phone. So you're being called today to really allow yourself to unwind, to allow yourself to feel okay with not doing anything. It's okay not to do anything. You are worthy of it. And you're not worthy because of what you do. You're worthy because of who you are, simply who you are. So I hope that this message found you well. I hope that you'll take time to rest, to reconnect with rest, to build a healthy relationship with silence, to immerse yourself in nature, to simply go out in nature without any agenda other than to see what appears, to see what happens as you are some sort of explorer, and just allow everything to show you. It's not so much about doing, getting, achieving. It's just about being. And so we need to connect with that side of ourselves to experience the fullness of this experience we call life. So if this message found you well, if you got something from it, give me a like. It really helps me out. If you are new here, I hope that you will subscribe and come back for my daily messages. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to connect further with me, you can check out my description and the comment section down below. I have pinned a comment. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next message. I love you all.